Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are for this international broadcast of Ahead of the Curve. I'm Bob Maricich, President and CEO of World Market Center. World Market Center has over 5 million square feet of home furnishings. And we're in the middle of a market bringing together buyers and designers to see what's new for the coming season. We have over 1,500 exhibitors who are introducing new product and literally tens of thousands of choices with those new products. And it's always interesting to see what you like and what might work in your home, but it's incredibly interesting to see what some of the best designers in the United States think is compelling, both from a product standpoint and an idea standpoint. And we certainly have some of the best designers in the United States with us today, with Timothy Corrigan, Laura Kirar, Vicente Wolf, the winner or honoree with our Design Icon Award here at this market, and a panel discussion led by the Today Show contributor and a style guru in her own right, Susanna Salk. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so exciting to be here, and very grateful to World Market Las Vegas for hosting us all. I'm so grateful, Timothy, Laura, and Vincent. Thank you. It's very exciting to have them here. And so, without further ado, let's talk about some of the trends that we saw. What we're going to do is we compiled this fabulous videotape of literally from yesterday and the day before of what we saw. And we'll go trend by trend and kind of talk each one out. And then at the end, we'll open it up to all of you for some questions. So let's hit the first trend, which was something that Vincent saw a lot of and loved, which sculptured sheen. Take it away.
The trend that I found here was the molded shapes, the shapes in the front of the cabinet, a combination of what to me is a classic line with very slick. So it's a yin and yang of shapes and the finish of high gloss. And the shapes are appearing in legs of tables, in this case the front and the side of the chest of drawers, or in the post of a four-poster bed. The shapes here come to the inside. The outside is very slick. Again, the juxtaposition of a contemporary line to a reference to the past, as it is in this shape right here. What I like about this trend is the combination of sharp lines on the outside, very sculptural shape on the inside, and it's all covered in a high gloss lacquer. It works great in the foyer, and it's not just a piece of furniture, it has a sense of sculpture to it. Lacquer again reappears here in a chinese shape or just very straight lines, which again brings a very graphic look within a space. The combination of outline with straight lines and these two white lacquered pieces carries that point that we have been talking about before. And I think that it works great in very contemporary spaces as well as intermingle with traditional pieces, as these all have very traditional inspiration. In this trend, I've selected wood, but not in its typical way. Here, Lychee tree roots have been cut and sliced and utilized as a tabletop. I think it brings a natural sense to a space, the warmth of the color, and I think it's a great new trend. Getting down here with the wood, it's a really, again, another unusual way of using wood. It has flexibility to it, it comes in round, and it comes in these sort of rectangular shapes. They're great on floors because it brings out a sense of natural, easy to maintain, it works great in the dining room. I think I love the look of this. Here wood appears, again, being used in a very different way as containers. Great scale, great thickness to it, and a very natural coloration. It can work on the center of a table with plants or just alone. I think it brings a sense of nature and a sense of warmth to a space. What I really love about these pieces is that it's incorporating concrete, which is very industrial, with a historical, traditional shape. And I think it marries itself really well. Concrete is a great trend. It's been around for a while. but more and more they're being used with beautiful lines. In this particular case, it's been tinted blue, and it really does as well as marble or granite. Or as in this case, as a ping pong table, you can use it in a family room, you can use it without the guards as a dining table. It's great.
Thank you, Vincent. So actually, just to recap, we showed 3 of trends that Vincent saw at market, which was the sculptured sheen, the treatment of the wood, and the unconventional concrete. And I loved it when you got on that floor with the wood. That was very glamorous. It was very earthy.
What's interesting is that in our discussions, so many of the points that I was looking at before we had a discussion, we all sort of meshed in the sense of wood, the sense of natural, unfinished woods, which protect the environment, and even the concrete, because many times they use, recycle materials. And I think that is really as you were saying, such a strong trend of trying to think about the environment, trying to think of how do we not make it worse, but try to improve it.
But we talked a lot also about, happily so, we've come far enough along on our dialogue about the environment that's hopefully becoming more and more of sort of a given. And what we're hoping is that design isn't really suffering as a result, as we saw a lot of those great pieces, that it's just a happy addition that it's great for the environment, but the way it looks is really quite fabulous.
Yeah, because for a long time, I think if something was sustainable, it was not very attractive. It was sort of what I call sort of tree huggery. Mm-hmm. And I think that what you're seeing is that now the technology is being applied to much more sophisticated, almost eco-luxury sort of look. And I think that's what's so exciting, is to see that you can actually achieve, you don't have to make a trade-off anymore between sustainable and great design.
What was also really fun about walking around with you is that while there was certainly overlap on some of these trends, particularly a lot of the unfinished, you'll see a lot of things that, Laura, you were saying, they never would have shown something at market like this 3 years ago that just had a very unfinished and yet very quiet, glamorous look to it. That you were seeing pieces completely differently than you were. So it really was a trend in that it's not like you were seeing the same 5 things that she was. And it was fun to hear you say, oh, I didn't see that, I love that, or which showroom was that one in? And when it's highlighted with your point of view, that's what kind of makes it special. Makes you want to see it more.